Most people don't realize this. The person draining your energy is not always your enemy. Sometimes it's the person you love most. And the scary part, you don't notice it until you feel empty, slow, unmotivated, emotionally tired for no clear reason. But here's the twist. Energy drain in relationships is rarely loud. It's silent, invisible, and extremely addictive. Today, we're breaking down exactly why some relationships drain you and why walking away feels harder than staying stuck. Stay with me. The last sign is the one most people never detect. Let's start with a hard truth. Not all love gives energy. Some love takes it. You were taught that love always feels warm, supportive, safe. But draining relationships don't feel toxic at first. They feel intense, passionate, magnetic, like you finally found your person. That's the trap. Because emotional drain often hides inside emotional intensity, and your brain can't tell the difference. Here's how it begins. At first, they feel like oxygen. You think about them all day. You check your phone every minute. Their attention feels like a reward. Their silence feels like punishment. And without realizing it, you've handed them control of your emotional state. That's not connection. That's dependency. But wait, it gets deeper. Your nervous system has a battery. Every interaction either charges it or drains it. Healthy relationships recharge you after conflict. Draining relationships exhaust you after normal conversations. You explain yourself too much. You defend your feelings too often. You walk on emotional eggshells, even when nothing is wrong. That's your first warning sign. Your body feels tired before your mind admits the truth. Now, here's the psychological mechanism. It's called emotional imbalance. One person gives clarity, the other gives confusion. One person gives consistency, the other gives unpredictability. And unpredictability is addictive. Your brain releases more dopamine when rewards are inconsistent. Same reason gambling works. Same reason toxic attachment forms fast. You're not in love with them. You're addicted to the emotional lottery. Now, quick question for you. Have you ever felt more anxious inside a relationship than you felt when you were single? Comment yes if you have. I read those, and it tells me exactly how many people are waking up. Now let's continue, because this next part is uncomfortable. Draining relationships often use emotional inversion. That means your needs become the problem. You ask for communication, they call you needy. You ask for clarity, they say you're overthinking. You express pain, they say you're dramatic. Slowly, you stop expressing yourself to keep the peace. The peace that costs your voice is not peace. It's emotional surrender. And surrender is exhausting. Here's another hidden drain. Unresolved tension. Healthy couples resolve conflict. Draining couples recycle conflict. Same fight, different day. Nothing actually changes. Your brain never gets closure, and open emotional loops burn mental energy. It's like leaving 20 tabs open in your mind all day, every day. No wonder you feel tired. But we're not done yet, because the biggest drain isn't conflict. It's something far more subtle. It's emotional asymmetry. You invest emotionally. They invest conditionally. You show up fully, they show up when convenient. You adjust your behavior for them, they never adjust for you. And because you're emotionally invested, you keep trying harder. This is where people burn out, not from rejection, but from one-sided emotional labor. Relationships should be shared weight, not emotional weightlifting alone.
Now, here's the crazy part. Draining relationships often feel harder to leave than abusive ones. Why? Because they give just enough good moments to reset your hope. A sweet message, a deep talk, a perfect day. And you think, see, this is the real them. But consistency reveals truth, not occasional kindness. Anyone can perform for a day. Character shows across months. Remember that. There's also something called identity erosion. Watch this carefully. Before the relationship, you had routines, friends, hobbies, focus. After the relationship, everything revolves around them. Your mood depends on them. Your schedule bends around them. Your goals slow down. You didn't fall in love. You slowly disappeared. And disappearing is the most draining act of all, because your mind fights to survive while your heart tries to stay attached. Internal conflict equals emotional exhaustion. Mid-video reminder. If this is hitting too close to home, subscribe now, because the next videos go even deeper into hidden psychology, and you don't want to miss what most people learn too late. Now, the most dangerous drain signal. Emotional unpredictability cycles. Hot, cold, close, distant, affection, withdrawal. This pattern creates trauma bonding. Your nervous system locks in, not because it's safe, but because it's intense. Intensity is not intimacy. Read that again. Intensity is not intimacy. Calm love feels boring to a nervous system trained by chaos. That's why healthy love feels strange at first, but draining love feels electric, and electricity burns. Let me give you a simple test. After spending time with them, do you feel calm or confused, energized or anxious, clear or overthinking? Your emotional aftertaste tells the truth, not your romantic fantasy, not your hope, not your excuses. Your nervous system never lies. Now, the final piece. Why do smart people stay in draining relationships? Because of emotional sunk cost. I already invested so much. I can't start over. It wasn't always like this. But time invested is not a reason to suffer longer. That's like staying sick because you already felt pain yesterday. Healing doesn't work like that. Leaving can be energy. Staying can be depletion. Choose wisely. Strong relationships don't drain you. They regulate you. They don't make you smaller. They make you steadier. They don't steal your focus. They strengthen your direction. Real connection gives energy after hard talks. Fake connection steals energy after easy talks. That's the difference. So here's the question. Are you in love, or are you emotionally exhausted and calling it love? Be honest. Would you survive another year like this? Comment your answer below. I read every one. And if this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs clarity, because sometimes awareness is the first step out of emotional prison. See you in the next one.